Aloha, it's Dave Lawrence. How are you? A big mahalo for tuning in. Today we are grateful to have a huge music legend on the line who has made music for decades you likely have memories attached to. He and his group have achieved that kind of status, dropping meaningful R&B, deep funk, slamming dance tracks, party music that crosses generations, from touching people's lives with their monster funk jams from their original era, coming from a disciplined jazz background, to reinventing themselves as a tight chart-topping machine that churns out selections from across the pop culture timeline. This Saturday, they continue making history. They start a U.S. tour, special guests with Van Halen, their second reunion tour with David Lee Roth, who I hear personally selected these guys, and no surprise either. From the projects of Jersey City to the majesty of Cherish and Summer Madness, to the multi-generational party anthems like Jungle Boogie and Celebration, it is a celebration. To welcome on the line, singer, songwriter, bassist, founding member, the namesake of Kool and the Gang, Robert Kool Bell. A huge aloha and mahalo, man.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm very good, man. Even better to be talking to you. I high-five you, give you a big hug, and thank you so much for taking a few moments for me.
Okay, so how's things over there? I guess the weather must be very nice.
The weather is good. When was the last time you were actually here?
Oh, it's been a couple of years. I was close and not close. I was just in Tahiti about four months ago. But I haven't been there in a couple of years.
Where were you 4 months ago?
Tahiti.
Okay, you weren't far at all, right? You were in the ballpark. The last time you were here was personal or business?
The last time I was here, I think I did a private date at a hotel there, convention.
Okay, that's not in Honolulu or somewhere else in the state?
I think it was Kona, the Big Island Kona.
Nice, okay. That's a real nice up in there. The Hilton up there is real nice. That's probably where you were.
Right, that's where we played, at that Hilton.
Yeah, that is nice. I bet you had a good time. They have gondolas there and the little trains and stuff. That's a nice place.
Yeah, train to your room or boat to your room.
I bet you enjoyed that. Hey, real quick, I've always been curious. Then who named you Kool? Is it Bobby and Mabel that we have to thank for that, or how did you get the name?
Well, Kool, the nickname I came up with when I left Ohio and moved to Jersey City, and in that neighborhood, everyone had a nickname, and so I tried to fit in, and I came up with the name Kool, and I spelled it with a K, because there was another guy who called himself Kool, but he spelled it with a C.
Aha, okay. So self-named because you just wanted to be able to stick out, because that was the way that you did things. Yeah,
it stuck with me, for so many years, and then the group was changed to Kool the Gang back in 1968. There was other names that we had, like the Jazzy Acts and the Soul Town Band and Kool and the Flames. And we changed that because of James Brown and the Famous Flames.
right.
And we came up with Kool and the Gang.
What a great name. And then it's become just such a catchphrase because, it's like when you're getting ready to do something. Yeah, I'm Kool in the Gang. It's like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah, that seems to be a saying now. A lot of people picked up on it. And a couple of movies. By the fact that the Pulp Fiction movie with John Travolta and Samuel Jackson and those guys.
That was certainly something I planned on talking about with you, but you mentioned it now, so we'll just talk about it right now. I mean, that movie, it really helped. What's your take on that and the role that Pulp Fiction, when you look back at it, how does it fit into the overview of the band's history?
Well, I think it was, the Jungle Boogie was kind of like a hip sort of a record, and we had another involvement with John Travolta because the first song that he used of ours was in Saturday Night Fever. They used the song Open Sesame.
Right, exactly, on the soundtrack.
Right.
Was that his idea back then, too?
It was, I guess it was Travolta, and then also the producer of the movie, director, what's his name? I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but he also was a Kool the Gang fan.
Well, you had a lot of celebrity guys back then. I know, of course, Sylvester Stallone, massive Kool and the Gang fan, and of course, he used your song famously too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is he a guy that you've had any kind of association with or gotten? Did he ever come up to you and get to tell you how much of a fan he was?
I never have had a chance to meet him yet. But John Travolta, yeah, I met him once. Yeah.
And he was able to express to you how much those songs mean in his own. That's why when I was introducing you, it's like it's different when you've written songs and been on tracks that mean something to people, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And that's really the definition of a group. And when you think of those island experiences, quickly before we move away from the islands, do you think that how many times do you think overall that you came and played here in the total? Just a rough estimate.
How many times have I played there?
Yeah, just rough estimate, I guess.
Oh, let's see. Over the past 20 years, I don't know, 8 times. On different islands in Hawaii. Yes, we have come there quite often over the years.
Okay, so you have made quite a connection here, because when people heard, the people that I've heard talk about the excitement around this tour, certainly it brings out memories from people of their past experiences, and I got that feeling that people had memories. So that's cool that you have it associated. And you've come here on your own too, to vacation, or only really to play?
I've been there once on my own, yes, but most of the time doing a performance.
What a privilege it is to be able to tour the world in that way and get to see the world via your music.
Oh, yeah, that's a blessing for us because, our music has been played all over the world. We get a chance to travel the world, going to these different places, like Hawaii and Tahiti, where we were about a couple months ago, and New Caledonia, and all down to Australia, and the whole world.
Yeah, you've touched people around the world with the music. There's no question. And when we think about this tour, is there any word on if the tour will be extended past that date in New Orleans? And if so, what are some of the cities that have been mentioned? And have you heard Hawaii mentioned at all?
Not yet, but they are talking about the possibility of a second leg. And yes, we would like to, if they want to take it further than the States, to do, of course, Hawaii, that's a part of the States, on into Asia, into Europe, because it's an interesting concept, with Kool and the Gang and Van Halen. David told me he came up with this idea because he felt that we were the funk pop band of the 80s, and they were the rock party band of the 80s. So he said, why not? Why not Kool and the Gang?
And I join him in saying, why not? I second that. Talk about how the Glastonbury Festival plays into how you ended up with this tour happening. Well,
we did Glastonbury last year, and that's one of the biggest festivals in the world. And we did the closing night. Earlier that day was Paul Simon, and then we came on, and then right after that, on another stage, was Beyonce. And we got full coverage on the BBC. And the group, David and Eddie and the guys, saw us on the show, and he said, hey, these guys can really rock. So that's how we got the festival. That's how we got the show from him seeing us on the Glastonbury Festival.
That's amazing. And was David actually there, or he just saw coverage of it?
I'm not sure if he was there at the time or he saw us on the BBC or what.
Okay.
But he should have known about the band for a while, but this was the first opportunity for him, to reach out for us, being that they were doing a reunion tour and a 40-year celebration. So who do you call?
And that's exactly my point about the music really has this quality. Who do you call? Of course, if you have a celebration, you're gonna call Kool and the Gang. And the thing about about David, real quick, I met David once in 1994. He came to a radio station I was working at in Boston, and I'll never forget, off the air while one of the songs was playing from his record that we were pushing or whatever it was at the time, I remember the subject of James Brown came up because he was covering some James Brown live, and he just lit up. He just lit up when he was talking about the funk and the old school funk, how much that meant to him growing up. how James Brown influenced his vocal style, all those little yells that he does and stuff. And
okay.
You know what I'm saying? When you hear David do all those little yells and stuff, now you go, I get it. I mean, it makes sense when you think about that connection, if you will. So when I heard that you were doing the tour, it was not a surprise. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay. Okay, very good.
It made sense in how he comes across. Like, he loves the funk. And you got to do some rehearsals, correct? Isn't that the case?
Yeah, we were out in L.A. rehearsing for 2 days. We rehearsed 2 days at the Forum, and we did a friends and family show at the Forum, and we kick off our first show on this Saturday.
How did the rehearsals go? Was Dave standing there watching you? What was it all like?
He was kind of in and out. We kind of watched their rehearsal too. It was a good thing. That's when he told me about why he decided to go with us, and how he was a fan as well, and he said, "Hey man, let's go out and have a big party." I said, "Yeah, well, let's do it. Let's get down on it."
I like that kind of talk. And what's your brother's take on the whole thing?
Oh, my brother?
Yeah. How's he view all this happening?
Oh yeah, well, he's loving it because he hasn't been out in a while, so he's ready to get out there and do his thing. Because like I said, we haven't been on a tour in the last maybe 10 years or more, but we worked a lot, but not on the actual tour.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. You've done a whole lot of different gigs, but this is a
lot of different gigs, but not an actual tour.
Yep.
Tour bus scheduling. Don't have to go to the airport and go to TFA and all that other stuff.
It's going to be big time. You remember that promoter, Bill Graham? You remember him? Cool.
Yeah, Bill Graham?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
When you think about this pairing, as you were saying earlier, the unique concept of you guys doing this together, I couldn't help but think it's the kind of thing Bill Graham up there in heaven, he got to give us 2 thumbs up on this tour, yeah? Oh
yeah. Rock, funk, and roll.
You know what I mean?
Brother Bill, we getting ready to rock, funk, and roll.
Because that's the kind of thing he would have done, huh? Put the 2 of you guys.
Oh yeah, he was that kind of a guy. Yeah, he's very, into doing things differently.
Right, exactly. Are these shows going to be the same set each night, or are we going to get a different show?
Well, it's going to be 90% of the same. 90% of the same set every night, yeah.
I'm ready.
Is that your wife?
Yeah, it's going to be 90% of the same thing.
Okay. And is my all-time favorite Kool and the Gang jam going to be in the set, Summer Madness? Tell me that thing is going to be there.
Summer Madness? We're going to try to slip that in every now and then. We got a limited amount of time, but we're trying to work it out.
That is an epic song. And you got to know that's has so much meaning to people. Is it still a meaningful one for you? That live version, that ferocious 8-minute live version.
Yeah. That definitely was a song that everyone likes to hear.
Well, I'll leave you with this thought: when the tour comes, I'm going to be coming in. We're going to go and see you in Tacoma, and also we're going to come see you in Vancouver. Maybe we'll be able to record a short interview at the show. Would we work something like that out?
Tacoma and Vancouver?
We're coming to see you. We're flying in. A lot of people from Hawaii are definitely going to be making this trip.
Yeah, let's try to do that.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, that would be great as well.
When we hook up in Tacoma or Vancouver, we'll record something proper.
Okay, very good. You want to do something next week? I'm on tour. I can do it from a hotel room.
That's what we'll try. And that way you give me a little feedback on how the tour started. It'll be nice, like a little follow-up.
Okay.
I like that idea.
Just check in with her then.
I will.
Okay, all right then.
Hey, I give you a big hug and a high five, Kool. I hope you had fun doing this. I really appreciate it, brother.
Okay, and I have to work with you on that to doing another one.
And I mean it. Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Take care, brother. Aloha.
All right,